Hey everybody, my name is Cody Kierce. More than likely, if you're watching this video, you made it through an email that I sent you, and it kind of went over the brief mission statement of what ESTUS is. The ESTUS Project, it's actually an acronym, ESTUS standing for Empowering Students Through the Use of Science. And again, just going back to the mission statement, that's fundamentally what I want to do. I want to give kids the tools, in some cases no longer kids, right? Some people that just really want to learn science. I want to give people the tools necessary to investigate their worlds and to come up with their own conclusions based upon those results. I think that's a really wonderful gift to give people. The way I want to do this, and the way that the team seems to be kind of going with it too, is we want to get into the classrooms, we want to start mentorship programs, and really dive right into the source of some of the confusion about what science is. And we want to target a very specific population. We want to target people who are more at risk, those who probably don't have as much exposure to science, probably don't have as much exposure to successful uses of science in the real world. And that's the fundamental reason I wanted to do this project. Let me catch you up to speed on some of the branches that have already developed. A wonderful woman named Victoria Gallup and I are going to be starting a preschool piloting program for the ESTUS Project, where we're going to work together and try and see if we can't come up with a really unique system to introduce toddlers and preschool-age children to science in novel ways. Now, there's some people doing stuff like this, but this turns out to be a niche that not a lot of people work with. It seems like there's kind of a stigma that young children just can't learn scientific methodology. I would argue that we already give them plenty of toys that do just that. If you guys think back to like Lincoln Logs, you're learning about geometry, connectivity, even building materials and construction, right? If you look at things like Legos, again, kind of the same theme. And what about that wonderful marble kit that we used to have that had all those tracks, right? And it would follow the marble around, you could redesign it in numerous ways. Well, there's gravity in a very simple explanation to a 3-year-old, right? So we want to design programs that are for preschoolers as well. So we're going to be working together closely on that, and I'll catch you up to speed as more develops with that. Today I started part of the high school seed of this project, where I actually went into a classroom at Niles Community High School, my old high school. They graciously let me come in and do a presentation on science in the real world. And what I did was I told the students about how science can actually benefit themselves in their own lives right now. So I did something tangible that could help them in the real world right now, so that they didn't just have to look at science as something that you use to get a job. We did a basketball demonstration, and I used a supplemental YouTube video that I made a couple of days ago after I ran an experiment to demonstrate it. You can find that up on the YouTube channel as well. I believe it's titled something like basketball demonstration, something like that. So that actually went rather well, and I took a monitoring system into the classrooms with me, where I actually asked the students to think of scientific questions beforehand. What kind of questions would they like to have answered? And I went ahead and did this at the end of the presentation too, so that I could have a good before and after pic of, of where their brains were at, a good before and after picture of where their brains were at. And I haven't really mined the data too much for results yet, but it looks like there were definitely a few students that fundamentally shifted the way they viewed science from kind of a micro level. They had like maybe a question like, what is sickness, right? All the way up to the macro level, looking at more global things and how science can actually impact the entire world. So you could actually see a little bit of a transition maybe in thought processes going on there. And this system of monitoring I want to keep developing over time in all of the programs, so that we have a very clear evidence-based indication that what we're doing is working. That's something that I'm very, very, very adamant about, and I want to make sure that we have a monitoring system that can clearly demonstrate that our methods are effective. I don't want to be putting a lot of effort into something if it's not going to be targeting the right people, it's not going to be bringing them up to par on some of the skills that we're trying to give to the community. So, with that in mind, monitoring systems absolutely crucial. We want to keep evaluating ourselves, our own presentation techniques, our own methods for reaching people, so that we know that we're coming up with the best solutions to teach. So that's another ongoing mission with it. Those are kind of the two big branches that are going on. We've got a preschool branch developing between me and Vicky, and we have a new branch in the high schools that is being exposed. I've got a couple more demonstrations being lined up next week as well in the same school. Just to give you a quick kind of introduction to what I'm doing, I am going to attach the PowerPoint presentation that I went to the classrooms with. Yes, the pictures are stolen from Google, so if this ever turned into an actual nonprofit, we'd have to have a graphic artist make our own, but because I'm using it for educational purposes, there's no copyright infringements and I'm not making money off this. So I went ahead and used those pictures, which I think were much easier to grasp. If you go ahead and look at the first PowerPoint slide at some point in time, I used a picture of Facebook connections, right? I'm trying to grab their attention in the ways that can be relatable to those specific students. So that kind of goes back to my mission statement, that we're developing of novel integrative methods that are tailored to specific groups, specific communities. So I got teenagers. Facebook's a great way to grab their attention, right? So that's kind of the general theme of how I approach these presentations. Is I look at my audience, I make sure that what I'm going to have is going to be relevant to them, and then from there, make sure that those initial inclinations of how to express this information and get it out there are working. So those are kind of the things that are going on right now. We also have some interest in international collaboration as well. Between, let's see, South Africa and more than likely India at some point. So the word is getting spread pretty quickly about our mission and what we're trying to do. And I hope that you'll be able to jump on board this project at some point. We have much room for people to get involved in. There's a lot of areas that we can use your help in, from people that are taking on more mentorship roles that would have no problem with walking maybe a youngster who's curious about the science world and how to use it, or how to, maybe even start career exploration mentorships, so that kids can actually get a real feel from somebody who's not too disconnected from the student areas, so that we want to make sure that if you're going to be interacting with students, that you have some experience with them. Other than that, though, that's kind of the main mission, is just getting you guys to be involved in any way you can. We're also going to have some abilities to get involved on some of the web-based servers, so if you're more technology inclined, you can do that behind the scenes work. We're going to need people to help with the video productions. I'm doing very crude representations right now, but it will get better, and we're going to need people to help with that. We're always going to need help from experts in various fields, depending on what their areas of interest are and what kind of work they do, to come in and do YouTube videos with us to help explain some of the concepts to the kids. So there's lots of areas in which you can get involved. We're always going to need support staff as well, people that are really good with paperwork, because I tend to suck at that. Whatever you guys want to do to get involved in the project, there's probably going to be an opportunity for you. So that's what I'm trying to express to you, is creatively, if you want to do something that can impact people in a positive way, this can be an opportunity for you to kind of make up your own role on the project and jump on board. So I'm just going to stop talking right here. It's been going on for a little bit. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much, but if you're interested in the project, we have some pretty clear directions so far, and things are evolving rather rapidly. So we'd love to have you on board. I can give you more information personally one-on-one. I'd love to be able to connect with you that way. And also a quick note, this Saturday we are going to be having a meeting at Oakland Community College at 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock this coming Saturday at Oakland Community College. I think it's in G building, but if you want to attend that, it'd be great for you to meet a lot of the core team members. There'll more than likely be 9 of us or more there. So you can come kind of get a feel of what everybody's like, and you'll see that we're all kind of on the same page about what we want to do with the project. If you have any interest, contact me. Again, PowerPoint presentation attached to the email. Take a look at it. It'll show you exactly what I produced to this specific audience in my old high school. And I hope to hear back from you. I hope I convinced you that it's a somewhat worthy cause and that we do have a little bit of a foundation started already. All right, thanks guys. Bye.